Hello, hello. All right, so I'm in my living room today because Skylar's upstairs. So we're just gonna do that today. Let me move this over. My goodness. Okay, so I am excited to be on here. I know it's been a little while, right? But I'm excited because I want to talk to you about something that does work, but sometimes it's not always a one and done, if that makes sense. Okay, so I want you to stay tuned for just a few minutes. I'm not going to take much of your time, but I just want to give you this tip of the week. All right. And like I said, I know I haven't been on in a little while, but I promise I'm going to be going live tomorrow and Friday. Okay. So my name is Raven Woods. I'm the CEO and founder of Autism Mama Rocks IEP, and I help parents gain the knowledge and the confidence to become the CEO of their IEP meeting. And if you are new catching me live, post a 1 below, okay? Just tell us who you are. Say, my name is so-and-so and I'm from Texas, okay? We want to get to know you. And if you're an oldie but goodie, you guys know what to do. Post a 2 below as you see Aaron and Jessica have. All right? So I just got out of an IEP meeting, and it really, every time I get out of IEP meetings, I always start to think, like, what did I learn from this IEP meeting? What could I do better? What needs to happen next? All of those kinds of things. I'm always trying to just do better. I mean, I know people think that I'm pretty good at what I do, which is why I stay pretty busy. But to be honest with you, I struggle because I always want to do better. And I hate the fact that so many parents are honestly really shamed. This parent did not realize for the longest time that she had kind of been taken advantage of, to be honest. And the child kind of swept under the rug, but you can't know what you don't know, and that's nobody's fault. I was in that same place. I believed that whole, oh, just give her time. It's not a big deal. She's making progress. She's making progress. And I believed them like we do. We put our faith and trust into people, and, we don't really learn otherwise until we get burned, right? So, I'm always trying to figure out what I need to do to just be better. The cool thing about this meeting was we let them know we're not playing, you know? There's so many violations. It's crazy. They haven't given the child speech. They haven't given the child OT. We're talking 400 plus hours that they owe this child. They didn't give the parent the procedural safeguards. They, actually came to this meeting, guys. This is the craziest thing. They had a draft IEP and goals that they had put together that the parent and I had no idea they were going off of when they were talking to us until I put a stop to it. I was like, what are you looking at? What are you referencing? And, it was crazy. I've never been in an IEP where they did that, where they actually literally said, we're going off of the draft. I was like, what draft? You just created an IEP in December. What are you talking about? And she was like, oh, we created, a draft so that, we can, it's okay, Sky. So basically, sorry. So basically, can you imagine you're going to an IEP meeting and your IEP is already put together? We were just saying we don't agree with some things. We need things to change. We need the present levels redone and everything else, right? And then all of a sudden you show up at the meeting and they say, oh, because I'm referencing everything and they were referencing something else. And then I've come to find out that they're referencing a draft IEP that mom and I have never seen, and goals we have never seen, and present levels we have never seen. Can you imagine? I mean, it shocked the heck out of me, and I didn't understand how this team could do that. It's such a predetermination of everything within the IEP. You just can't do that, guys. I mean, it's a big deal when school systems take advantage of parents like that, and school systems are not to engage in what's called action that appears to be a predetermination of placement or action that may appear to deny parental input into decision making. That is a procedural violation. And that's what they did, because you can't go off of a draft that you've never presented to the parent ever. Okay? So that's not okay. So with that said, we're going to move on. I want to talk to you about this class action lawsuit. Have you guys heard about the class action lawsuit that was in California? All right. Somebody posted in my group, I think it was. So if you haven't joined the group, it's Autism Mama Rocks IEP group. Just stick that into the search bar. And basically what this class action lawsuit was is it included the governor, all right? And it's one of those things where I think it's going to go down in history, for real, because this governor, I don't believe is going to be in office much longer. I can promise you that. And so here's the deal. I'm going to read this to you. All right. So a lady posted on my group. She was getting it confused. It has nothing to do with the LAUSD that was dropped. That has nothing to do with that. This is a class action lawsuit in California. So if you're in California, and it was against Governor Newsom, and they settled. And this is the 9th district, and it requires in-person services continue during COVID-19. Now, mind you, California has not been in school since March of last year, all right? And this is so crazy because they have not allowed any students to go into the school, all right? So now, due to this lawsuit, we're talking about umpteen million parents, guys, I don't know exactly how many, sued the governor of California and won, okay? And then now it is being said, and literally it says it in big, bold letters, school districts that fail to provide in-person special education services in a student's IEP have violated the law in California and every state in America. So basically, as parents, we're thinking, there is that thought process of, we don't want our kids going to school and getting COVID, etc. But in a lot of areas, many students are not getting it as much as adults. But it's also more than likely because they're not in school. So, but there is something said about that, all right? But no one wants their kid getting COVID. So it's one of those things, But if you guys know anything about what's called Andrew versus Douglas, all right, it is a case with Jack Robinson, all right, he's a great guy, and he won the case in the Supreme Court, all right, where it was in regards to a student it was multiple things, but one of the things that always stands out to me, because it's the most recent case that went all the way up to the Supreme Court, and the parents won. All right, big time one. And one of the biggest things was in regards to the student not making progress. And what that was called was making diminished progress is the wording in the case, okay? And so I want you guys to keep that in your mind and be mindful of that. So when school systems, and mind you, this is a child that I advocated for today that's in 3rd grade. That is the grade that parents need to pay attention to, because that is the grade where you have 2 years to go down, okay, to kindergarten, and you're able to see if something's happening. And that's where you want to nip it in the bud, okay? Obviously, if you've waited longer than that, like I did, and went through 6.5 years of utter hell, you don't want to do that. But if you're there, now's the time to address it. But that 3rd grade year is that year where you're really going to see, is this working? Is what they're doing working, or is it not? The thing that's so aggravating, all right, is, and I'm going to go back to the lawsuit in just a second. What's so aggravating is, why do teams not come to the parent? All right. So that is also a violation. All right. So I want to go over that with you so it's clear, because I know it's happening all over the United States, and I've had it with this. I've had it. I'm in a good mood today, so I'm smiling, but I've really had it. Like it makes me sad. So it's failing to make educational recommendations and decisions based upon the individual needs of the student. All right. That's one violation. The other one is in reference to evaluations. So have you ever had an evaluation and just like this child did, and the school system changes all of 0? So you have this big formal evaluation and then the school system does nothing. You have a meeting, you go over the evaluations, and nothing happens. Why is that? And it's called failing to make recommendations based upon adequate evaluations. So why is it that schools aren't addressing these things? Why aren't they addressing? They're supposed to come to you. Why is that not happening? Why are schools not saying, hey, Dana, your child is not making progress in reading. We need to figure this out, right, Dana? You know what I'm talking about. Why is your child not making progress in reading? Dana won a due process case. And, the thing is why is it they won't come to us? Just come to us. That's it. If there's teachers and educators and district representatives and everybody else out there listening, just come to the parent, because we get our children have special needs. But if you don't come to us, what do? You lose our trust. If you don't have trust, there's no relationship. I mean, at least with me, you're not getting it back. So, just come to us. We're normal, everyday people. We may come across, especially me, I will own it, as a hardcore advocate. But guess what? I'm also human. All right. I'm totally mush on the inside. Okay. But I know how to put on that face for the IEP, and I also know how to get it done. But you need to make sure that, when you advocate, I always say to the team, look, it's not personal. This is about my child here. Okay. And you need to make sure that you are doing what's needed and appropriate for my child, period. All right. And if they're not, then you need to make them own it. All right. Own it. All right. The problem is, and I say this all the time, I said it today. All right. I have pages and pages of evaluations. All right. And the school didn't even want to go by their own evaluation. They made no recommendations. They changed one goal in math. Oh, of the 6 goals that the child had. 6. That's it. All right. And it just baffles me. I'm like, I had to tell the teacher today, because she told me, well, what do you suggest? What do you suggest that I do, for the goals? And what do you suggest that, I change up? What are you wanting to see? And in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, I'm an educator, but mom is not. She's a nurse. It's not her job to tell you what to do with your job. A lot of parents don't know how to do goals and all these different things, and they failed to educate her on it. They didn't teach her how to read an IEP. They kept saying to me, well, mom always agreed. Mom always agreed. She never said anything different. I said, because she was intimidated by you guys and she didn't know, because you guys didn't tell her what her rights were. You guys didn't tell her how to read an IEP truthfully and transparently. You basically ran the show and said, this is how it's going to be. And she just went with it because she trusted you. And then you break that trust. You won't break the trust with parents if you're transparent. That doesn't mean we're not going to be mad, right, moms and dads, grandmas, right? We're going to be mad at things. We can't guarantee we're not going to be mad. But if you're transparent and saying, hey, math and reading aren't working, we got to figure out what to do. We need to go back to the table. We need to have a teacher conference, whatever the case may be, because you can always put amendments in and not show up at the meeting, not go, because you want to just amend it and everybody gets along and everybody's agreeable to the amendment. But if you just come forward and say, hey, this isn't working, we need to fix this. I may be mad that it's not working. I may be mad that, there's no progress being done. I may be mad that, it's just frustrating, but I'm going to then trust you. Okay. I'm going to trust that, hey, you came forward and told me that it wasn't working, because guess what? It doesn't always reflect back on the teacher because something's not working and the how is not working with our children. It's not always the teacher's fault. Sometimes it is, but do you know a lot of times it's not. It's just, you got to change what you're doing. You got to think outside the box. What you're doing isn't working. So what? Happens all the time, even as moms. Then we change it up. It's not working. Okay? So do you guys know? Because I haven't figured it out yet. It's one of those things, like what is it that causes schools and the staff, all of them, to not just come forward and say, hey, this is what's going on. We need to meet, the child's not learning. We need to figure this out together. That's what teams do. That's all we're wanting from you. That's it. All right. So the tip is, guys, is tell them, be transparent with me. Keep my trust, because if you don't have my trust, I will personally make your life hell. And I have said that. I will make you do so much paperwork, your head will spin. I will make state complaints off everything, even the stupid stuff, just because you're not transparent. Rocco, my dog's crying. He's in his cage. So just be honest. All right. Just be transparent and just come forward if something's not working within the school system. And then together we can work it out. We can figure it out together. But if we don't allow ourselves the ability to change and put it on the table, put it all on the table. We all make mistakes. Put it all on the table. Guess what? If you don't repeat your mistakes, people forgive you. Who cares what you did? I mean, unless you murdered somebody or harmed a kid or something. But things are forgivable. Just be transparent. Okay? So here's the next thing. Let's go back to that class action lawsuit, guys. So just like Andrew versus Douglas, it made history in the special education world. The reason why is because it went all the way up to the Supreme Court. It was in reference to a child making progress in lieu of their disability. All right. And I remember when talking to Jack Robinson, who was the lawyer based out of Colorado, who represented this family. And, he's genius and just an ordinary guy, that did amazing things and set the tone. All right. So now this class action lawsuit is going to do the same thing. All right. So literally, guys, all right, it says, all right, I'm going to read this to you one more time. And if you want, I will post the link. Or if Aaron, if you're on here, will you post the link for me for both of them, the PDF, which is the legalities of it written up, and then the link to the news of this. All right. So again, it is for California, but don't be worried. California is the worst. All right. They're like the biggest state pretty much, other than Texas and, New York. All right. And then here's the crazy thing. I was in New York today. All right. I'm always in California. Now I'm in New York. I mean, it's the biggest states that want to call me. I'm in Texas too. All kinds of stuff in Texas. Okay. So special education lawsuit is a press release. All right. Against California Governor Newsom has been settled. Law requires IEP in-person services continued during COVID. And then it says school districts that fail to provide in-person special education services in a student's IEP. So if your child has speech, OT, whatever it is, okay, reading specialist, etc., that if they are not providing that, they have violated the law in California and every state in America. And this is huge. And I mean, it goes on and on, guys. Here, I'll show you. It goes on and on, okay? But it's really interesting because it's going to change everything in all our states. Not right this second, but it's going to. All right. The state of California expects and state law requires that schools implementing distance learning will deliver services required under IEPs. And so, it's crazy. And when you guys look at this case, wait till you see it. It's going to be posted. It's every school district in California. It's insane. And it says here over 800,000 special education children in California schools with special needs are suffering harm by being sent to learn from home with distant learning models due to COVID. And once the class action lawsuit was filed and settled, settlement was reached, Governor Newsom stepped forward, advised parents, and set a strong warning to school districts. So here we go. Governor Newsom also said Senate Bill 98, which was enacted in conjunction with the budget of 2020, includes requirements for schools that provide distance learning as a result of being closed for in-person instruction during the 2020-21 school year, finally making sure that there was no doubt the school districts were violating federal and state laws. If you think for 1 second that this is happening, I mean, what's so crazy is it's happening in California first. What the hell? So Aaron just posted both of them. One of them is the print up of the lawsuit, and the other one is the news press release. But it's crazy because this is why it's so good, all right? Is because it's California, all right? So one of the biggest states, so many school districts, it's insanely twisted and such failure when it comes to special education. And it is now the state that came forward first with a huge lawsuit that is going to change everything. And if you don't think that other states are going to follow, come on now. If you are in certain states, all right, get together with other mamas, okay? Just a suggestion. Because if everybody does this, guess what's going to happen? Change. Somebody's got to step up. I encourage you to do so. I do. Because change has to happen. Even if it's where, say, you're afraid to send your child to school and you want to stay virtual. You could still send your child to school for services, and have some stipulations put into the IEP in order to keep your child safe, and they could even be secluded from everybody else because it's for therapies and it should be in the therapy room. And, as long as they're following protocol in regards to the cleanliness and cleaning, then I don't think the teachers want it either, so I think the safety will be there. I encourage you to do that. Keep your kids at home and send them to school for services. And guess what? Transportation has to be provided unless you choose to bring them yourself. All right? So this is huge, guys. It's just huge. And I just want you to know that change has to happen for all of education to be fixed. Is it going to be perfect? No, but it's going to take each and every one of us doing our due diligence to make the change happen. And in my mind, okay, I can look at it in two ways. I can look at it as an educator and, even my daughter being a teacher, thinking, okay, I feel bad for teachers. I do. I feel really bad. And at the fact that they've had to do this whole learning thing and how difficult it is for them. But on the other hand, I cannot get so caught up in that I lose sight of what is really the most important, which is what? Our children. Okay? So we can have care, but at the same time, we have to leave that over there because it's not the most important thing. Look at it like this, all right? We have goals, we have deficits, all right? So I have a child and I wrote their deficits on a paper and I highlighted it and, all of those deficits. But can this child have 10 goals in PT? No. So what do? We pick out the 3, maybe 4, I say 3, and those are the most important. Same thing with this, you have to, pick which is more important, which it's always going to be your child. And it sucks on both ends. It really does. But it doesn't mean that our children don't deserve an education that is meeting every single need and is appropriate. I was in an IEP today and, I heard things that I just don't want to hear. And I told them that They said, we're doing, I said, why aren't you, providing speech and OT and so on and so forth? Why aren't you providing procedural safeguards? They tried to pull the bullshit on me, guys. Let me tell you, look out for this. They will say, oh, that's not in the contingency plan. I'm thinking, okay, what contingency plan are you talking about? And they said, oh, the contingency plan that we put in place in October, the beginning of the year. I said, what contingency plan? I said, there's no such plan in place. And I said, if you're talking about COVID, there's no such thing. They're non-existent. I don't care if the parent signed it. I don't care if you drew it up and the parent said yes. I don't care. They don't exist. If there's an IEP, that piece of paper that says, oh, this is the COVID plan, it doesn't mean squat. Zero. Nada doesn't mean a thing. There's no such thing. So schools were putting that out, before the secretary decided, okay, I'm not going to make changes to IDEA. I'm not going to make changes to anything in regards to special education. She even said, I believe that the school systems can do what is needed and appropriate for the kids and they'll figure it out. All right. And so that was when those contingency plans had to go bye-bye, but schools never told you about it. They never said, hey, the plan that we put in place for COVID that really is non-existent, okay? It's not in place. We don't have to adhere to that. We actually have to adhere to the IEP. Of course they wouldn't say that. But just so you know, there's your tip too, is, don't kind of listen to all of that stuff. Know that I called her out. I said, no, that's not true. There's no such thing. Yeah, there is. It's in place. No, there's not. And they left it alone. They used the comment, oh, we're trying, we're doing our best. I said, obviously you're not, because the child isn't learning. He's still on kindergarten level in 3rd grade, which means he went into kindergarten, never made progress, and now he's getting ready to go into 4th grade for next year, and he's still on a kindergarten level. So, which means whatever it is that you're doing is not working. I don't understand how I have to explain that to a team. If it's not working, frickin' fix it. I should not have to come into play and bite your damn heads off and tell you how it is and let you know that you are not adhering to IDEA and violating state laws in regards to what's going on. I mean, all you got to do is look it up. I mean, if you don't know, look it up. I get, as parents, we don't understand it. A lot of times, it needs to be explained to you, because I will say, I talk to a lot of parents and they're like, oh, I looked it up online, but how they said it to me was not how it goes. So just be careful, moms, dads, grandmas, guardians. But as far as the school, they should know. So why is it that I'm teaching you these things? I shouldn't have to teach you these things. My job is to help parents and advocate for parents, and really I'm advocating for the student. But I shouldn't have to go teach a director of special education about IDEA. I shouldn't have to tell you that if something's not working, you have to change it. It's super simple. And I shouldn't have to tell you that you shouldn't do shady things, like tell parents that a contingency plan is in place when that's complete BS. It's not in place. Telling parents that services like speech and OT can be missed. Oh, we'll do 2 group, but we won't do speech individually because we're doing our best. It's not going to cut it anymore, guys. Parents are really smartening up, and parents are not tolerating it anymore. And I hope all of you parents stick up for yourselves. If you don't know, ask. And ask somebody who knows. And, make sure that you stick up for yourselves and don't fall for the games that are being played. All right? Because they are being played all the time. I was talking to someone the other day, and then I'm going to hop off here. I told you I wouldn't keep you long. I was talking to someone the other day, and I was like, she was saying, you're awesome. She was giving me all this praise, and I was like, thank you. I appreciate that. And, she said, you mentioned on a live, which I did a couple videos ago. I said, what I do is really not that special. It's just I'm persistent. And she said, no, what you do is actually impactful. And the fact that us parents, don't realize that we're being taken advantage of and being told things that are actually factually not true is very shocking and cumbersome. And I said, yeah. I said, so I don't sound like I'm a I'm a negative Nelly, online and live because, I feel like I'm always, hammering down on the school systems and more so the districts, but also in teachers, because as a teacher, you need to be open to make change. You need to go to the parents. Screw the principal. Go to the parents and tell them what's going on. All right. If a principal fires you or has something to say because you were transparent to a parent, there's lots of legal action you can take about that. And it's not cool. And I bet you a parent would back you up. If you went to a parent, was transparent, and you got in trouble with a principal or higher ups, a parent would totally back you up completely. They'd be on your side 100%. You'd have more parents backing you up than you'd believe if you were transparent with them and then got in trouble for it by the higher ups, because we know that that's who controls things. We know that. So I'm just being very transparent with all of you. Whether people like me or not, I don't care. What I care about is the kids get what's needed and appropriate, and I'm tired of seeing it not happen, and I'm tired of hearing the excuses. I'm tired of hearing, oh, we're doing our best. No, you're not, because the child would be learning if you were doing your best, or at least making some progress, So we've got to make some change, guys. We just do. And, I'm sorry if I'm a negative Nelly often, because what sucks is it's true. It is true. And I don't know how to be any other way. If it was changed and things were positive, then I wouldn't have to say the things I say. But when I see them every single day in IEPs or mediations and all of these things, it's there. It's in your face. It's there, And I hear parents all the time. Parents will come to me in tears because they're just so devastated that they didn't see it happening, that they wish that they had caught it, that they wish that things were, going to, sorry, Skylar just texted me, that she, a teacher said, I'm doing my best. I'm really sorry. I should have come to you. And you could tell that she felt bad. And this was in an IEP meeting that I had. And, I saw through, her apology. And this teacher was on being honest. She was like, I'm so sorry. You could tell that she was just coming clean. She didn't say, hey, so and so told me to not do this, that, and the other, but you could tell. If you can read somebody's body language, that was one teacher that when she said she was sorry, you knew she was sorry. And that's all people want sometimes is, okay, but when it comes to our kids, we need to fix it right away. We appreciate you being honest and forthcoming, but let's fix it right away, So I always say, call people out. Call them out. If you're going to do shit, be called on your shit. Okay? When people are called out, they have to own it. Whether they want to or not, Because in my mind, how I'm looking at things is school systems, and this is what happened in my case, guys, is after you lie, you have to lie again to cover up that lie. Then you have to lie again to cover up that lie. And then you have to lie again to cover up that lie. Shit, just be honest. And if people don't like you because you're honest, who cares? All right? Because a lie has to be covered by another lie. And then you have like 3, 4, 5, 6, 10 lies to own versus, okay, I need to just come clean on this, and then we make a change and things happen. Because why go into teaching or even, the district? A lot of them are teachers. How do you go to bed at night doing the things that you do? I don't know. I wouldn't. I wouldn't be able to live with myself if I knew, hey, this child's I haven't changed their goals. I haven't changed their present levels. I just did a huge evaluation and we changed nothing. But me sleeping at night and being able to live with myself because of that. And then the fact that it's being done to tons of children, and a lot of times it's not caught for many years. And that needs to change. Okay? So I will let you guys go. I will be on live tomorrow, okay? And I hope you guys have a wonderful evening. I see you guys all said hi. I'm getting ready to go meet my older daughter for dinner, or I would answer questions and say hello to you guys. But I see you, and I promise I'm gonna, message you after I get back tonight, if not tomorrow. But I just want you to know I see you guys. I see you said hello. And I want you to know I'm so glad you joined me live. Make sure you share this, okay? Because sometimes parents just need to hear that things are going on that maybe they don't know about. This mom that came to me that I had an IEP today with, she was triggered by something that was said in an IEP. She didn't know that something was wrong. She had no idea. But she just had that gut feeling of something wasn't right. She just didn't know what it was precisely. And then it became this, as I went through things, it was a nightmare. A nightmare. And so I don't want that to happen to everybody. I know that many of us are there, and I know that we're going to have to hit it, going forward and really, bulldozing our way, to make sure that things are done right. But the minute you catch something, the minute you feel something's not right just in your gut, make sure you handle it right then and there. Don't let it go. Don't let that feeling go, because 99.9% of the time you're right. All right? So have a wonderful evening, and I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Bye.